Let's try again with a memory card that's not full. Just a couple more days left, just a couple more days left, and the year will be over. People are crazy. I saw that on clearance. You are ripping people off. You are stealing from people that have to shop at a thrift store. People tore me apart. It is not your fault that people have a problem with this. You're not doing anything wrong. Hey everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Frequently Asked Fridays. This is the first time you're catching an episode. This series is all about answering all of your questions and filling these videos with as much information as possible. And if you really enjoy this video series, I will definitely make sure to link the playlist down in the video description below. I also pin lots of information in the top pinned comment in the comment section. My favorite part of this series is my partnership with Wholesale Ninjas, because every single episode they give away a 100 count liquidation lot to one of my viewers. So let me tell you what you need to do to enter to win on episode 10, and also make sure to hang out until the end of this video to find out if you are our 9th winner. All you have to do is ask me a question. Down in the comment section, ask me a question to be featured on the next episode of Frequently Asked Fridays. Just make sure to put 5 question marks at the start of your question, because that will indicate entry into the giveaway. But please remember that we do need to keep it fair. You can ask as many questions as you want to be featured on the series. However, only one of those questions can have the 5 question marks indicating entry into the giveaway. Now, before we get into all of your amazing questions from the last couple of weeks, I do just want to take just a quick minute to tell you who Wholesale Ninjas is, since they are partnering with me for this video series, and they are the ones who are kind enough to give away a liquidation box to one of you. As I'm sure many of you know, I am an e-commerce seller and I sell items on multiple platforms. Primarily eBay is the one that I talk about on my YouTube channel. For years, I really tried to hone in on the kind of merchandise that I wanted to sell regularly, and that took me on a journey of finding different suppliers that I could buy from. Back in September of 2019, I stumbled upon the Wholesale Ninjas website when I was doing a basic Google search for wholesale and liquidation sourcing. I was immediately intrigued with their website because they were selling a lot of the kind of merchandise that I was looking to sell that seemed to be really hard to come by with a lot of companies out there. If you've seen any of my other videos, you probably know I love selling health and beauty merchandise, but unfortunately a lot of companies out there are really scarce in the HBA department. They either have it sometimes but not consistently enough, or they don't really have a wide selection to pick from. But the first thing I noticed about Wholesale Ninjas was that they had a lot of HBA and they had a lot of different options for me to pick from. They also had general merchandise and pallets, which I knew I was going to want to start buying pallets. I also noticed that they offered what was called a pallet breakdown service, and I hadn't seen any other company do that. And in case you're curious, the pallet breakdown service is where they take a giant pallet of merchandise and they actually break it down into smaller, more manageable boxes and ship it ground versus having to pay for freight delivery. So it was all these little things I was noticing about Wholesale Ninjas that really made me want to jump in and buy a whole bunch of test lots just to see what their merchandise was like. And you guys, I was in shock when I got these orders, in the best possible way. I had been buying from liquidation companies where things would arrive damaged. There were some places that I would buy and everything was covered in stickers, and not just little stickers. I'm talking encased in stickers. And that is honestly one of my pain points with listing. I do not like having to remove a bunch of stickers before I can get stuff listed. I opened up these boxes from Wholesale Ninjas and almost everything was sticker free. Not only that, but their quality control was above and beyond any other company that I had seen. And because I was so impressed with their conditions, their quality, and their consistency with supply, I decided to reach out to them, tell them exactly who I was, and ask for a coupon code for my viewers. And the code is Lindey25. It gets you $25 off of anything on the Wholesale Ninjas website. I will go ahead and link all of their information down in my video description if you want to go check out their website, and I'll also put direct links to my favorite lots that they have. Thank you again to Wholesale Ninjas for partnering with me for this video series and sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into all of your questions because there are a lot of good ones and I want to get to as many as possible. Buy, list, sell, repeat asks, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. By the way, I hope everyone had a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. What is your minimum profit per item that you look for on your inventory? So honestly, I don't have a minimum profit that I look for because I will list items that will sell for, you know, a $30 or $40 profit, and then I'll also sell things that'll only get me $1 profit. And the reason for that is when I buy merchandise, I always have a very, very wide swing of the value of items that I get in liquidation. Because when you buy liquidation or wholesale, you're going to have those items that bring you really, really, really good money. And then you're gonna have those items that you'll barely break even on, honestly. And the whole idea of it is that it all evens out in the end. You sell the high value items, you sell the low value items, and then you end up making a profit overall somewhere in the middle. So I never strategically buy items to only make $1 profit, but I end up having those items that only make me $1 profit or breaking even because I had to get those items in order to get the better ones in an order. Does that make sense? I feel like that was a little bit confusing. So whenever I buy orders, I never have all high quality items or all low quality items. It's always a mix. So I have to sell items that have a low dollar profit in order to get the items that have the high dollar profit, and then they all average out in the middle. But if I can find an item that will bring me any profit, even only $1 profit, I will still list it and sell it as long as it's easy for me to list. And this is where I feel like my opinion of profit is a little bit controversial to all of the other people that are out there putting out content talking about making money reselling online, that I don't turn my nose up at little profits. To me, profit is profit. My entire business runs on small profits because it's unrealistic to expect that all of the things that we sell are going to be home runs every single time. Whenever I get an order in of merchandise, I have high value items, I have low value items, and I have some that are in the middle, and I have to list them all. If I was only listing the high value items, I wouldn't be making any money because I have the mid-tier items and the low-tier items to sell as well. You have to get some crap in order to get the good stuff when you buy liquidation, and that's what I do. But I do not list items that only bring me $1 profit if they're gonna be a pain in the butt to list and ship. If it's something that's small, like some hemp's chapstick, if it's something that's small that is going to take me no time to list because all I have to do is scan a barcode, input some basic data, piggyback off of a listing, take 1 or 2 pictures and list it. It's small. I can drop it in an envelope. It's no big deal. That I don't mind selling for $1. However, if we're talking about a piece of clothing that takes a lot of time to photograph, you have to do measurements for it. It takes up a lot of room to store it. Or if it's something that's breakable and you have to make sure that you use an excessive amount of packaging material to make sure that it arrives safely to your buyer, that of course is not worth $1 profit. So I feel like you have to kind of use a little bit of common sense and you have to decide what's worth your time and what's not worth your time. Sandy Abrams asks, how do you hold it all together? Awesome job. I am so flattered that you think I hold it all together. The magic of editing. It's the magic of video editing. I get to cut out all of the crap. No, I struggle all the time. I struggle with motivation. I struggle with not really wanting to do anything. Now, I guess the beauty of having it look like I hold it all together is because I allow myself not to hold it together. If I'm being 100% completely honest, I will have days where I just lose my temper. I will have days where I'm not very productive. I will have days where I'm a little snappy. And I think the important part is not pretending like you're holding it all together. I let myself fall apart. And I think if you let yourself fall apart, it's a lot easier to pull yourself back together and get done the things that you need to get done. I think it's when we try to pretend like we have it all together and just like go cry quietly in the bathroom or have meltdowns that nobody sees. I think that's when it becomes an issue because you're bottling too much in. I let myself fall apart, and I think that's what kind of makes it easier to hold together when I need to. I feel like that's a really sad response. And I drink rum. I drink rum. Gina Chauvin asks, for a few months at the end of 2020, I stopped listing and sourcing because I was moving. My sales have dropped to almost zero, even though I have started listing. It is almost like my listings are invisible. Any thoughts on how I can get things moving? Thanks. So I also just recently moved during the month of July. I had my handling time pushed really, really far back while I moved. I've also put my store on vacation, which was a huge mistake when I would travel for conferences. And the thing that I noticed every time I would try to come back and reinvigorate my store, bring it back to life, so to speak, it really did take some time. So if you've been listing items for just a few days and you're not really noticing anything happening, that is completely normal. It really does take a lot of consistency in order to bring your store back to life. So just keep listing. Don't let the lack of sales get you down. Just keep listing. Keep doing whatever you can in order to remind eBay that you are there, and the sales will start to come again. Courtney Latham asks, what is your favorite New Year's tradition? Thank you for your confidence. It definitely is felt and raises my level. You rock. Thank you so much, Courtney. I don't really have any New Year's traditions except for watching the episode of Friends with all the resolutions. You know, the episode where Ross has a new thing for every day and he puts on the leather pants and then he can't get the leather pants back on in his date's apartment.
Oh my God!
He uses the lotion and the baby powder to try to pull his pants back on and they make a paste.
Still not coming on, man, and the lotion and the powder have made a paste.
Yeah, I watch the one with all the resolutions every New Year's. That's I guess kind of a tradition. I have to watch it every year. Just every year I have to watch that episode because I laugh so hard every time. Kathy Reelan asks, thank you so much for your channel. Thank you for watching, Kathy. Because seriously, I wouldn't be putting out videos if no one was watching them. So thank you guys for watching them. I've been binge watching them and haven't gone through them all. Well, I'm not surprised. There's like 700 or 800 of them the last time I looked. It's a lot of videos. I'm looking to add another stream of income. I work full-time as a nurse, so may not be able to run to the post office multiple times a week. What is your normal time frame for getting items shipped? So I prefer to do one-day handling, also because same-day or one-day handling also makes you eligible for a top-rated plus. So that's one reason why I ship items every single day. But I've known lots of sellers out there that will just ship every 2 or 3 days. Maybe they'll do shipping on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and they're perfectly fine with operating that way. I personally think that shipping as frequently and as often as possible is best because we are kind of living in the day now where people expect their package to be delivered yesterday. Thanks, Amazon. But if you don't have time to go to the post office every single day, you could try porch pickups. They are completely free. You just go to USPS.com and you just schedule a porch pickup. And before you leave for work, you can just leave your packages on your porch for your postman to pick up for you. But of course, that could be personal preference. Some people don't like doing porch pickups or they are unable to do porch pickups, but that's personally what I do and I prefer it versus going to the post office every day. Northwest 44 asks, have you ever sold books on Amazon FBA? If so, what are your thoughts about it? Worth it? I have sold books on Amazon FBA. My thoughts about it are it could be extremely lucrative or a massive waste of time. There are some people out there that love selling books so much, that's all they do. They will buy pallets of books. They will go to numerous bookstores, thrift stores, library sales, and all they will do is just stand there and scan book after book after book after book after book until they find some that bring a decent amount of profit, which can be very, very difficult because, spoiler alert, there's a lot of books out there. I tried doing it for a really long time after I got lucky a few times. I had gotten a few pallets that ended up having a bunch of books in them, and I sat down and I scanned probably 300 different books that came in these pallets, and I ended up finding maybe a dozen that sold for over $100, and then maybe 10 or 20 that sold for $30 and up maybe. And when it actually came down to it, when they finally sold on Amazon, when I finally had the profits hit my bank account, yeah, it kind of felt good for a split second. But then I started to think about how much time I spent scanning books, how long it took them to sell on Amazon. And it's just not my cup of tea. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the hassle. It's not for me. But there are some people that love doing it. And that's something that makes being a reseller really neat, because there's so many different ways to be a reseller. There are so many ways that you can buy something, so many things that you can buy, so many different kind of profits that you can make. There are some people out there that live for the hunt. They love digging through trash and hoarder houses and old dirty garages to find gems that just sell for extremely obscene amounts of money. Then there are some people that like to go to Walmart and look for hidden clearance items and send them into Amazon and have them sell within 30 seconds of being on the platform. And then there are some people that love to go to the Goodwill bins and dig through piles and piles of clothes to find things that almost got tossed away that are designer, that are worth hundreds of dollars. Or there's people like me that like selling tubes of lipstick and deodorant on eBay. There are so many different ways to be a reseller. And some people out there love selling books. They like scanning thousands of books every single week to find those gems that sell for good money on Amazon. They want to have a crazy amount of books just in inventory at Amazon FBA and just regularly sell 1 or 2 a day to get them $100 to $150 in profit just in books every single day. But it's not exactly my cup of tea. Is it possible? Can they be found? Yes. But it's really a lot of work to find those books. I speak from personal experience on that. Angie Tonsing asks, I see that there are several software programs that sellers are using to run retail arbitrage. What do you use? Is there a minimum when just starting in eBay? So for any of you that are not aware, retail arbitrage is basically the act of going to a department store and buying things off the shelf or in the clearance section and basically flipping them online for profit. So you might go to Walmart, you might see a toy that's been marked down to $5 and you can maybe send it into Amazon or sell it on eBay for 40 bucks. There are different services out there that help you target and narrow down retail arbitrage items, but I personally don't use any of those. The only service that I will use to assist with retail arbitrage is BrickSeek. BrickSeek is basically a website that will tell you some of the newest clearance items on a lot of different retailer sites. Whether it's online or in store, it will tell you some new clearance items. It'll tell you how much it is at what store, and you could basically search things like UPCs or see what items are in stock at what locations of certain stores. That's basically the only site that I have ever used to assist with retail arbitrage, because when I do retail arbitrage, I prefer to do it on my own, because I tend to think that if you are using a site like that to help you find retail arbitrage items, by the time it gets on those sites, the secret is already out and it's going to be really hard for you to flip those items, because there's going to be a lot of other sellers that have found that same item. And so I feel like the market is going to be a race to the bottom. So I would rather do retail arbitrage and find items that are not advertised on sites like this. So there are ways to find hidden clearance items at places like Walmart. I actually did a video talking all about finding hidden clearance items at Walmart. I'll link it up here in case you missed it. But then I also like to do retail arbitrage and find stuff off of store shelves that aren't even on clearance yet. So whenever I'm doing retail arbitrage, I just do it in my own way, and I don't really use any sites to do that. Deb Kenny asks, hi Lindey. Hey Deb. I look forward to your frequently asked Friday videos. Thank you so much. I enjoy filming them. Now that colder weather has arrived, do you have any problems arise when shipping beauty products? I wonder what happens if the products freeze. Thanks. Believe it or not, I would prefer to ship items in cold weather versus hot weather, because when you ship stuff in hot weather, it melts and separates, versus if you ship things in colder weather, things tend to just kind of firm, and then once they get warm, they loosen up again. But the trick with beauty products, if you are shipping in any extreme climate, if it's really hot or if it's really cold, you have to make sure that there's some sort of insulation when you're shipping beauty products. Usually for me, that's as simple as shipping something in a very, very small box wrapped in bubble wrap or packing paper. Usually if you have a few layers in between the product itself and the climate, it can really help with those extreme temperatures affecting the quality of the product. Kelly Canty asks, hi Lindey. Hey Kelly. I'm starting to think of how my business might change next year, and I'm wondering what changes you might be making in your business for 2021. Thanks so much for your quality, helpful content. Happy holidays. Thank you so much, Kelly. So, how I'm changing my business in 2021, I honestly don't know if I'm expecting to make any changes. I think I'm just going to grow and develop what I already have going. And that is also going to include having some hired help. I'm pretty sure I've already told you guys, I mentioned it already in Monday's Motivation Monday live stream, but I have my sister-in-law helping me list now, and I'm hoping that she decides to stay on long term, because with her listing for me 3 days a week, that's going to help me with consistency and getting more items listed. I'm also going to start having my soon-to-be 15-year-old helping me out with the business. I'm gonna start him with taking pictures. I will do some drafts and I will have him take some pictures, and then the rest of the items are going to be listed by my sister-in-law. So I don't really see myself making a lot of changes in 2021 when it comes to my business, but I'm just going to continue to build off of the foundation that I started this previous year. Max Hilliard asks, hi Lindey. Hi Max. Thanks for all the great videos. They're so helpful. Thank you so much. My question is, how often do you buy inventory? Do you wait until you've made back what you've spent the previous month, or do you wait until you're out of stuff to list? I love that I found your channel. You've changed my reselling world. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. I honestly have no rhyme or reason to when I buy inventory. Honestly, this is a question that I get a lot. You know, do you wait until you at least get your money back, or you start to profit off of your previous lot before you buy another one? And for years, I've never really had any rhyme or reason as to when I buy more inventory. I usually just try to buy inventory if I have the capital available and there's a good buying opportunity. I never want to put myself in the position to buy something I really didn't want to buy just because I needed something to list. I think that that is a major mistake, and I think especially now with the pandemic, a lot of people have been panic buying items just so that they have stuff to list. It might not even be good stuff, but a habit that I've been trying to create for myself is, if I have the capital available and I see a lot that I think is going to be good, if I see a palette that I think is going to be good, or if there is something coming up like Q4 and maybe I want some more toys, then I will jump on a lot that I see, even if I don't need the inventory. And that, of course, is just my personal preference. It's just whether or not I feel okay buying more inventory. I would never encourage someone to overbuy just for the sake of buying. I think that buying inventory and the capital that you have to invest in your business is a very personal thing. And I think that only you can decide whether or not you're ready to buy inventory. If you feel like you shouldn't buy inventory and you just want to buy for the sake of buying, it's probably not a good decision, especially if your capital is very, very strained and you might not have the money to spend. Oh, this is a good one. Anna Turkle asks, how do you deal with people who like to message you things like, oh, wait, hold on, I gotta get some voices right here. I know you only paid $1 for that. That's only $10 at Walmart right now. I saw that on clearance. You are ripping people off. You are stealing from people that have to shop at a thrift store. People in my... I hope you guys know I was just mocking in good fun. I don't know these people, obviously. People in my area get really angry about reselling for more than you paid for it. So Anna, I know exactly what you mean. I actually did a video years ago where I addressed some nasty, nasty comments that people were leaving on my YouTube videos. I'll link it up here. It's a really super old video. But it was titled something like resellers should be ashamed of themselves. I'll link it. I'll also pin it down there in case you want to, you know, go watch it. I think it's a good video because I address a lot of that kind of stuff in this video because I would get a lot of hate too. The most recent thing that I have seen, I actually saw a Facebook group post that was here local of someone trying to sell a PS5 for like $1,000. People were tearing her apart in the comment section. It was crazy. They were tearing her apart. I actually got torn apart myself right after the pandemic first started. I had cases of hand sanitizer. Kid you not. I had gotten cases of hand sanitizer in a pallet like 2 months before the pandemic started, and you couldn't find hand sanitizer anywhere. You couldn't find it anywhere. And I listed some on Facebook Marketplace for $2 a bottle. $2 a bottle. That was like 15 cents more than you could have bought at the store for these like Equate or Target brand hand sanitizers. People tore me apart. I even pointed out that I was asking for like 16 cents more than they could have bought it at the store, and I wasn't charging them any sales tax, and people still ripped me apart. So I've been there. I've been on the receiving end. You are not alone. I am right there with you. People are crazy. If people are sending you messages like that on eBay, ignore them. Don't even respond. Don't even respond. I had someone send me a nastygram like that on eBay as well because I had priced, I can't even remember what it was now, but it was something that was on clearance and I had received it in a liquidation. I knew it was on clearance because it had a clearance sticker on it that I removed before I listed it. And someone sent me this nastygram telling me that I'm a horrible person for buying all of them at Walmart clearance and then charging more for them. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. If people want to say that kind of stuff to you in real life, tell them it's none of their business. I'm serious. It's none of their business what you're doing with the merchandise. When I used to buy lots of jeans and clothing at Goodwill, if people were to ask me, so why are you buying so much? Depending on my mood, I might just say something like, I buy for extended family members, or I might say, I have projects that I work on. Or if I'm in a really pissy mood, I might tell them to mind their business. Because you are not obligated to tell someone what you are intending to do with what you are purchasing. And I can promise you, you buying from thrift stores is not doing anything wrong. It is not your fault that people have a problem with this. You're not doing anything wrong. At Home Hustler asks, counting my question marks. Yep, gotta have the 5 question marks. It's gotta be 5. I live in SoCal and tried selling on Facebook Marketplace for local pickup. People want everything for next to nothing. Maybe because the cost of living is so expensive. It could have something to do with it. How much do you discount your items from the retail price? Thanks. So whenever I list something on Facebook Marketplace, I usually shoot for about 50% of the retail cost. So if someone can go on Target.com and buy it for 50 bucks, I might list it for 20 or 25, unless I have a lot of money in it. And in that case, I might price it a little bit higher to make sure that I make plenty of profit. But I usually shoot for around about 50% of retail or a little bit higher if I'm willing to take offers. Jennifer K asks, such good videos. Thank you. Thanks for keeping it real. Always. That's the only way I know how to do it. I wonder what printer you use for shipping labels since you process over 4,000 transactions. I just bought a thermal printer and I'm excited to see how it works. You ship so much ink? Question mark, question mark. I actually use a Brother laser printer. I don't have a thermal printer yet. I have lots of people telling me that I need to just bite the bullet and upgrade to a thermal printer, but I know I've told you guys before, technology and I do not get along, and the idea of switching printers terrifies me. I am so scared to switch label printers and then need to ship packages and then I have issues. I thought about, let me know in the comments if this would interest you. I thought about buying a thermal printer and vlogging my entire process, buying it and setting it up. I don't know how well that would go though, because if I get frustrated, the last thing I want to do is be on camera, if I'm being honest. That's why I don't vlog more. Honestly, that's why I don't vlog more, because when I get stressed out, overwhelmed, irritated, the last thing I want is a camera in my face. So if I was setting up a thermal printer and I was getting frustrated, I don't know how I'd feel about vlogging it, but I think it would make for an interesting video. You know, how easy or difficult it is to set up a thermal printer and go from having like an 8x11 sheet label printer to a thermal printer. But to answer your question about the ink, I would go through a lot of ink if it was an inkjet, but it's not. It's a laser printer, so it uses toner, and toner is really not that expensive. You can buy a 3-pack of generic toner that my brother printer uses. You could buy a generic 3-pack for like $33. And I only have to change my toner cartridge once every 5 or 6 months. So $33 will last me a year and a half in toner. So it's really not that expensive. So that's part of the reason why I haven't felt pushed into buying a thermal printer, because my laser printer has been doing fine and I don't feel like I pay too much in toner at all. But let me know in the comment section if you would be interested to see me set up a thermal printer. It'd probably be pretty entertaining, if anything. Oh, gives me heart palpitations even thinking about it. Donna Ward asks, do we have to have an eBay store to join the eBay Partner Network, or can individuals participate too? So the quick answer is no, you don't have to have an eBay store. You actually sign up for the eBay Partner Network just using your eBay user ID. You don't have to have a certain store level or anything like that. You just simply log on like you would be logging on through eBay, except you're logging in through the eBay Partner Network. And I've been getting a lot of questions about the eBay Partner Network ever since I brought it up in my last Frequently Asked Friday episode. In the last episode of Frequently Asked Fridays, I had answered the question, what would be the second best stream of income in addition to reselling if you wanted to start branching out into multiple streams? And I had mentioned affiliate marketing, and I had specifically mentioned using the eBay Partner Network because you're already an eBay seller. I'm going to do a more in-depth video just talking about that, so be on the lookout for that. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be able to put that video out, but I'm going to do a very detailed video about the eBay Partner Network and how you can make even more money selling your merchandise on eBay and getting affiliate marketing money from it. So be on the lookout for that video because I am planning to do that. But no, you do not have to have an eBay store in order to sign up. Jenna Papsiak asks, that's a lot of K's. Hi, Lindey. Hey, Jenna. How do you decide if a product is not worthy of selling on eBay? Is it too much competition, low value? Thank you for everything. So it really is about just kind of using your best judgment and your experience. I really don't have an issue with putting something on eBay if it has a lot of competition on eBay already, because if something has a lot of competition on eBay, I'm just gonna try to have better photos, I'm gonna have better keywords, I'm going to trust the fact that I'm top rated plus, that my feedback is going to speak for itself to help me stand above the other sellers that are trying to sell that exact same product. So it's not oversaturation that would keep me from selling it on eBay. It's really the item value, because you have to ship stuff on eBay, right? So you have to be able to buy a shipping label. And if you have something, I'm looking for an example here. If you have something, like let's pretend like this weighs 1 pound. If this is only worth $3 and the value of it is only roughly $3 because someone could buy it anywhere. If it's gonna cost me $8 to ship it, suddenly the value of this item is now $11 and nobody is going to pay that. Nobody's gonna pay $11 to receive a $3 item because of the cost of shipping. So that would be the kind of situation where I might not list it on eBay because there's no value to listing it on eBay. Now, where that might change is if you have multiples, because for instance, something like this, like let's say I have 4 of them. I only have 2 sitting here, but let's say I have 4 of them, but I could fit them all in a flat rate envelope. Now, suddenly the value makes a lot more sense because I can ship 4 for the same price as 1. So now suddenly I can make the dollar amount make sense. So I kind of use my best judgment in a way to decide whether or not something is going to go on eBay. And if it doesn't go on eBay, that doesn't mean that it might not sell better on a different platform. Sometimes market values are better on other platforms. We see that all the time with Amazon. Some items sell for more on Amazon and they sell for less on eBay, and it's the exact same item. So if something might not be selling for a good price on eBay, check a different platform, or try to get a little bit more creative with where you're gonna sell it. You might be able to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. You might be able to sell it on Mercari. You might be able to list it on Amazon. You might be able to sell it to someone in the family just to get your money back for it. Just get creative. Christy Talbot asks, hi Lindey. Hi Christy. I took your advice, and anything over £1 and won't fit in a flat rate packaging, I use calculated shipping. However, I know that eBay won't allow less than 5 stars on shipping rating if you offer free shipping. Do they do this as well with calculated shipping? I was wondering because I'd had a buyer claim that the shipping cost was far too much, and this was after they bid on it, won it, and paid for it. I informed the buyer that it was set to calculated and it was based on their location and the weight of the package. I have not heard anything back, but I'm scared that they will leave me a bad rating for the shipping price. So I don't know the answer to this, but I did still definitely want to talk about it because I think there are some things that sellers should be concerned with ratings and rankings, and then some things that I don't think are really cause for concern. So I do think that feedback percentage is definitely a determining factor in eBay's algorithm and buyers feeling comfortable with buying from sellers. But I don't think that the 5-star rating for something like shipping really matters all that much, because the star rankings that buyers can select for you has nothing to do with your feedback score. But yes, you are 100% correct. If you offer free shipping, the buyer cannot give you any less than 5 stars. But whether or not you do calculated or a flat shipping fee, I don't know if either one of those makes a difference. I think that the buyer can give you star based on calculated or flat fee charged, but I don't know if you need to be super concerned with the buyer giving you less than 5 stars. Does that make sense? But this is definitely not something that's new. Buyers are not happy with having to pay for shipping at all. That's part of the reason why I try to offer free shipping whenever possible. But like you said, you're doing exactly what I do. You charge shipping if it doesn't fit in a flat rate and it's over £1. It could also be that the buyers are complaining to complain. I mean, I did a video talking all about this, about how we shouldn't be so quick to refund, or we shouldn't be so quick to people please our customers that we give in to their complaints. They might just be complaining. I wouldn't be too concerned with them leaving you a bad review on it. And if they happen to leave you a negative feedback, you can go to ebay.com/sellerhelp and request to have that feedback removed. And as far as I know, someone leaving feedback for something like a shipping charge, I think that's grounds to have it removed, but I'm not exactly sure. But as for like the 1 to 5 stars, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Squeezable asks, what is the best way to sell makeup purchased from Liquidation, individual or bundles? So the quick answer is I usually just do it based off of comps, but I do like to try to maximize profit whenever I can. So I tend to do more bundles of cosmetics than singles. But this question of whether or not to list a single or a bundle or a lot of something is a question that I've been getting frequently enough to warrant me making an entire video. So here very soon, hopefully sometime in January or February, I will have a video about listing lots or singles or how to determine whether or not you should do one or the other. I will have a video all about that. So make sure that you are subscribed and be watching out for that video. Grace Ma asks, I saw you mention Facebook Marketplace as an upcoming marketplace that you'll do a recap video. Is it possible for you to do a detailed video on setting up a Facebook Marketplace store, listing, etc.? How is the shipping on there? Are you just doing meetups? Okay, so there are a couple of videos that I have coming up. Next week, I plan to post a sales recap where I just talk about some of the items that sold for me over the month of December on Facebook Marketplace. And then a week or two later, I'll be posting a video all about selling on Facebook Marketplace, the things that I've learned so far, what I know about shipping, and I will go ahead and do a demo of listing items on Facebook Marketplace as well. So that video will not be the sales recap video that comes out next week, but I will do a video all about those details, things that I've learned, shipping, creating the listings, all of that kind of stuff. That will be a week or two after. So make sure you're watching for that. And then to answer the last bit of your question, I do meetups and I also ship. Marissa James asks, how did you learn to edit your videos? Trial and error and stumbling through. And YouTube. YouTube did help me a lot. No, so when I first started editing videos, I used Windows Movie Maker and I also used the Viva Video app on my phone. But then when I decided I wanted to try to make my videos look a little bit more professional and edit them a little bit better quality, I decided to upgrade to Final Cut Pro. That is the only reason why I have a Mac. And I basically fumbled through and I just started learning little things at a time. I just learned how to basically cut stuff out and move clips around. And then I would just, once a month try to learn something new, and I would watch YouTube videos and just kind of play around with it. And that's basically how I ended up learning how to edit videos. And so if you've noticed a steady progression of better editing, it's just because I've been learning a little bit more as time goes. And that's why my video editing early on really sucked. Tiffany Levron asks, do you ever feel like reselling has turned you into a hoarder?
Yes.
Bite your tongue.
Laughing in my head.
I don't hear him laughing in my head. I hear him laughing in the kitchen. This is why I don't like filming videos when anyone else is home. Thanks, pandemic.
Literally the perfect question for me to be nearby.
Go away.
I love you.
I am struggling with keeping stuff that I might be able to sell someday. Tiffany, you are not alone. I definitely feel like a hoarder a lot of the times, but if you can force yourself to just get rid of stuff, it does start to get easier. It also helps if you have someone else remove the stuff. Like if you have death piles of things that you don't think you're ever going to list, put all of those in a box and ask someone else to donate it. Ask someone else to get rid of it. And if you can't remember what was in that box, you'll get over it a little bit easier. That's actually something that I think I got a lot better at when we moved from our old house to our new house, because I wasn't around at the old house to supervise getting rid of a lot of stuff. I basically packed up and brought all of my listed inventory and all of the inventory that I knew I needed to list like as soon as we got the house unpacked. But then a lot of like death pile stuff kind of got left behind in the garage, and my husband just got rid of it all. He was like, is there anything else that you need me to bring? And I'm like looking around saying to myself, I don't think so. And so the stuff was just gone and I didn't miss it. So the more that you tend to get rid of stuff out of sight, out of mind, the less likely you are to miss it and the easier it's gonna get. I do also think that you have to reach a point of being fed up and tired of looking at piles upon piles of crap in order for you to let go of things. If you don't ever get tired of looking at it, then it's always gonna be there and you're never going to move on from it and you'll just continue to hoard stuff. Okay, so we are at the time. We are going to find out who the next winner of the 100 count liquidation lot from Wholesale Ninjas is. Drum roll, please. The winner, chosen by random comment selection, is Katie Evans. Thank you so much for your question, Katie. I have already replied to your comment. Just get with me and I will make sure that you receive your liquidation lot from Wholesale Ninjas. Katie asks, so what do you do when your reseller enthusiasm wanes? For weeks. With all of the shipping challenges the last few weeks, it can feel like more of irritation than it's worth. How do you bounce back from a very disappointing fourth quarter? Asking for a friend. Well, Katie's friend. Katie's friend. There was definitely a lot of challenges this fourth quarter. For sure. There was so many shipping challenges that there were some sellers that stopped selling completely to avoid having to give refunds to almost every single buyer that they had, or risk getting a bunch of negative feedbacks and basically blowing up their account. I wish that I had a magical suggestion that would make you instantly be motivated in order to start selling again, but I don't have one. The thing that I could probably compare this with that makes it the most relatable to this exact situation is burnout. Because a lot of the times resellers will experience burnout if they're working too much, if they're not seeing the results of all of the labor that they've been putting into their business, and it turns into this burnout that basically makes you not want to do anything. And so that is kind of similar to this whole enthusiasm waning from having a really crappy fourth quarter. And the best suggestion I can give when that happens is tell yourself it's okay to take a break. Something else that really helps me whenever I'm feeling a lack of motivation and I'm not really feeling like selling, I'm not feeling like listing, I'm not feeling like doing the work, something that helps me is reminding myself why I do it. And I'm not talking about reminding myself like, oh, it's to provide a better life for my kids, or oh, I need it to pay my bills. To me, it's reminding myself of the magic of reselling. And this is where I'm probably gonna start sounding really cliche and I'm gonna start sounding a little goofy, but I remind myself of how being a reseller is truly incredible. It's like magic to me. It's like magic to be able to pay money for something, get a product, and sell it to someone else for more than I paid for it. It's like creating money out of thin air. It's like magic to me. It's like turning $1 into $5. It's like turning $5 into $10. It's like turning $100 into $200. It's like magic. It's creating a job for yourself where one didn't exist before. I get to do it from home. I get to do it during a pandemic when people are worried about going out to work. I remind myself of all of the good that it brings into my life. And that's what suddenly reinvigorates and re-inspires me to want to continue to do it. And now is the perfect time to remind yourself of all of that, because we're at a fresh start. Today, the day that you're watching this, it is now January 2021. It is a brand new year. It's a fresh start. Q4 is over. The first quarter of the new year has begun. What a better time to reinvigorate your spirit and get to reselling again. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. The next episode of Frequently Asked Fridays will be posted on Friday, January the 15th. So don't forget to enter your questions in order to win the 10th free lot from Wholesale Ninjas. Just go down into the comment section, do your 5 question marks, and ask me a question to be featured on the next episode. If you like this video series and you appreciate all of the information being brought to you, do make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. Don't forget to check the video description. I will put a lot of useful information in there for you, as well as the top pinned comment in the comment section. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you guys with my next video. Bye-bye.